prophets can see anything. One of them, they call him NTA. He said, this one can tell you about your house, tell you about where you came from. Then another one, they call Onyokomita. And I went back to the car, and I went with the girl to the house. And as soon as we got to the house, we quarreled. Myself and her quarreled, and God started organizing all the things I used to enjoy from that moment. And the girl left. But I still did not come to choosing, because that was God's time for me to come. So God said, if I like it, and whether I like it or not, I must be choosing. So God now, in the place of work, God now used my boss, who was a white man. He was a white man. The man just hated me for nothing. Even when another person commits an offense, he will put it on my head. It was the level of hatred he had for me. So he now wrote a petition against me to HR. And that was the height of it. I said, this petition is going to spoil my career. It's going to spoil my record. And I started running up and down. I started begging, can't you withdraw that petition? Why did you have to write? But everything was, all my plea fell on deaf ears. So I was looking for a solution. I had the place where I was staying, I had a neighbor who attends another church, Nation Building. He attends Nation Builders, Odozobudo, they call it Odozobudo. They have prophets. This my friend knew the situation I was in. And he told me that one of the prophets can see anything. One of them, they call him NTA. He said, this one can tell you about your house, tell you about where you came from. Then another one, they call Onyokomita. He said, Onyokomita will just pray for you and everything will end. So when Onyokomita came to the house, I was very excited to see him and tell him to help me. Onyokomita, after telling him everything, I wasn't convinced about what he did or what the prayer he made. So I left, unsatisfied. I remember that I carried somebody with apron. I remember that somebody told me about the God of choosing and what he can do. So I now called that brother. I said, brother, see, I have a problem. And I want to go to Lagos because I was to travel to London through Lagos. So I told him I want to stop over in Lagos and see that the Jew, maybe he can pray for me. Because the HR told me that the only thing they can do to save my career was they have to write another letter to withdraw that petition that white man wrote. And for me, that was impossible. The white man was very stubborn. Nobody could write a letter. I know he wouldn't write. So when I came to this place, I stopped over there. That was in 2010. This place wasn't built, as it is now. As I entered, I didn't see anybody. I saw just one person. He was standing just where we have the coconuts. And he was looking towards the main road as I was coming. I saw him looking towards the main road. And I came to him. I told him I want to see that Gio. He said I cannot see Gio. That Gio was not around. I told him I have a problem. He gave me a piece of paper. He said I should write my petition in that piece of paper. So I wrote it and he told me it is done. I found out later that he's a pastor of the Lord choosing. He told me it is done, and I traveled to London. 3 days after in London, I called back the HR, and they told me they have received a letter again, a second letter, withdrawing that petition they wrote against.
Hey, clap unto God, He is alive, and He is the God of the chosen.